God damn. I'm saying something? God damn.
Okay. I don't know why. It did it. I don't know. Actually, you know what? It did it after my computer updated a couple days ago. It didn't, for whatever reason, it did not update my it did not update my or it like reset my sound setting. So anyways, what is going on, everybody, man? What is going on, everybody? And how is everybody doing here today for another edition of the news, man? Another edition of the Notorious Sales Podcast, man. This is episode 240 of the news, man. So, thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on today's episode of the news. If this is your first time watching and you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday we're on here after Monday Night Raw with Notorious Unscripted, and every Friday we're on here normally at 4 p.m. Central. This week, bit of a earlier start time with the 1 p.m. Central. Due to some just post birthday obligations for myself. But yes, so thank you guys again. Thank you guys for joining us for a earlier than usual start time, man. But normally at 4 p.m. Central, we are on here every Friday with the news, man, as well as the pay-per-views for both AEW and WWE directly after with the official post-show review. Speaking of that, man, next 2 weekends, man, you guys got us, man. Next Saturday, guys got us for Full Gear. The following Saturday, you guys got us for Survivor Series, man. So very excited about that. And if you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, that is episode 221 of Unscripted. The OG Bloodline is back. But was it too soon, man? We talked about all that good stuff. We talked about AEW Dynamite that week. We talked about the obvious Bloodline, the OG Bloodline reunion. That took place on SmackDown as well as Monday Night Raw, the last live Monday Night Raw for, I think, a couple weeks. Oh, well, we got the news on it, so we'll talk about that in just here in a second. But if you guys did miss that, that is available for you guys on all platforms. That is Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to say first, join us right here live every Monday after Monday Night Raw for NHP's Unscripted, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can get the beautiful newest piece of NHP merch that Sir K and I are rocking ourselves today. The next chapter design to go along with the rebrand of NHP. You guys can now find this. You guys can now find this on bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man. Also, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's big day. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be fun. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Like Bell says, I'm excited for Monday. After, Wednesday, that fucking shit show. Um, so some exciting things coming up, man. But as you guys can read, it's a happy birthday. We celebrated on Monday. We're celebrating it again today on Friday because our, his birthday was on Wednesday. So I might as well celebrate both, man. So
Hmm.
happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. I know it's 2 days after the actual birthday, but again, happy birthday again, man. And thank you, bro. Thank you for all that you do for me, podcast, everyone watching. Thank you, bro, for all that you do. Mike Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everyone doing in the live chat? How's anyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing on your celebration birthday day?
Doing good, bro. Doing good, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the kind words, as always. Always appreciated. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody that reached out, man. Over the past couple days, man. Thank you, just for real, man. Thank you. Um, yeah, I briefly talked about it on Monday, but now that I actually made it past my birthday. My birthday was on Wednesday, but it's man, after the the calendar year that I've had from birthday to birth, from the 13th last year to the 13th this year, um, man, it's very crazy, man, that I'm still here, and I'm still fighting, man. Personally, bro, personally, there's been a lot throughout the past calendar year that's just had me down and out. And man, I shouldn't be standing here, bro. I felt defeated. But sometimes in life, bro, sometimes in life, you just, when you're down, bro, you gotta pick yourself up, dust yourself off, rejuvenate yourself, man. Just re reignite your fire, bro, and just learn how to, yeah, reinvent and rejuvenate yourself, man. And I can't say I've done a good job, but what I can say is I've tried, and I'm very, very proud of myself for that. So for
You should
that,
be.
for that, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, bro. It's been a lot, and I'm sure you guys are, gonna hear something very similar to this around New Year's, because that's when the actual calendar year of 2024 will be over. But um the way I like to look at it, man, there's been a lot of horrible, man, personally, bro, but there's been so much good. There's been so much good to come out of this year as well. And although, man, with a horrible calendar year as this has been, it's this is gonna be a year that I really look back on. I think fondly, just in the sense of just a lot of learning, man, learning about things, learning about people, for sure, learning about people. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot, and I'm proud, bro, and I'm proud to, I'm proud to have done it. And just been able to do it with all you guys, man, and have you guys here as just along with me on this journey, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. It really does. It really means more than you guys will ever know. But yeah, so thank you guys for all the birthday wishes and everything, man. So I really appreciate it, genuinely, man, from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, I can't thank you guys enough, bro. So I really appreciate it, and thank you for the birthday wishes, man. Thank you for the support. And thank you guys for believing in me, bro. Thank you guys for believing in me this year, bro, because a lot
Always.
there's been a lot of times this year where it's hard to believe in yourself, man, but you can never doubt yourself, bro. You always got to believe in your abilities. Um but but thank you guys so very much, bro. Thank you guys so very much, for real. Yes, thank you guys for the birthday wishes, for real. It means a lot, and it was very humbling, man, very endearing, and I really, really appreciate you guys, man. I tell you guys all the time, and the reason I do that, and the reason I don't go an episode without thanking you guys, thank you guys for joining us and all that stuff, is because I actually mean it. You guys are like family, man, and you guys know what it is, man. I always say you guys know how it is. But speaking of the people who know how it is, man, what is going on, everybody? And as Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, Gotti, naysayers, bad Wi-Fi nerd? What is going on, brother? Thank you for joining us. And how is everybody doing, man? As I hope you guys are doing good. As we get closer and closer to Black Friday, closer and closer to Survivor Series, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever you guys got going on, whatever you're looking forward to towards the end of the year, we're getting closer to it. But thank you guys as always for joining us, man. As yes, how the hell are you guys doing? Um, Bad Wi-Fi nerd, bro. I got a bone to pick with you, my dog. He says they need to give Randy the belt. Well,
Mm.
according to Twitter, Randy needed to take a harder pile driver
Oh
this
God.
past Friday. Yeah, because let's have fucking Kevin Owens do a Canadian fucking destroyer to Randy Orton, fresh off back surgery about a year and a half ago. Um,
That's not still a move at all.
yeah, The pile driver was weak one. Yeah, let's have him do a fucking Panama Sunrise to fucking Randy Orton off the top rope. Let's have him do a Gotch style pile driver right on his fucking neck so it can hurt his spine more. Gotta love Twitter.
Mm,
There really are some geniuses on there, man. But you know, Orton needed to take a harder pile driver. Um,
yeah.
but to seriously address your question, I think I think being that, you know, Triple H books the show, bro, and Randy Orton and Triple H sort of helped Randy Orton grow up in the business. Um, you know, I think I think by the end of his career, I wouldn't be shocked if Orton inches closer and closer to Flair. I could see that. Um,
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't be shocked.
yes. Oh, Bell. To address Bell's comment, bro, Melter, dude. I don't know how. I genuinely don't know how he sent that to. I'm assuming you're talking about the Backlash Tokyo tweet. I genuinely don't know how he did not because I was so pumped when I first seen it. I sent it in our group chat and I instantly was like, wait, this is that fucking fake WrestleVotes account. But I panicked because I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. I was like, fucking Backlash Tokyo. And then I fucking seen Meltzer had sent it. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then I instantly looked back at the post and I seen Wessel votes. I was like, oh, this is that fucking fake account, bro. And I was like, bro. But I found it so funny that he tweeted that out because if you look at his tweet, he didn't even cite a source, bro. He sent that tweet out as if he sourced the shit himself when
Yeah,
he clear. So
he's got it.
you gotta love wrestling media, bro. He clearly seen that shit on what he thought was WrestleVote's official Twitter account and just sent it out as if it was his story. So you gotta love it. It's been a rough. No, you ain't lying though. It's been a rough year for Dave Meltzer, bro.
Oh, it's been really bad. Just false shit after false shit. It's insane, bro.
Yes, which some cases I honestly feel bad for him for because you just know WWE doesn't like him and they feed him a bunch of bullshit. But there also has been a lot of times this year where it's just been something that's just blatantly, what the fuck is this? Um,
Mm.
oh no, he wrote an article about Dutch Mantel, where he was literally TK and AEW's PR person. Oh god.
I
Well,
don't know, but
Well, we all know Dutch Mantel is a real American, along with
yeah,
Jake Hager.
there's some Americans, all right, man. Fucking good old Jake Hager, drunk as shit, tweeting at
Tony
night.
Khan, silence me. What? That
Ugh.
was the most goaded drunk Twitter rant ever. I
Oh, that's
fell out on the
hilarious.
floor laughing, bro. Though how illiterate those tweets were, as some of the most goaded shit you will have ever seen, bro. Um, so with that, now that we got all that stuff out of the way, man, I want to give a huge birthday shout out to two of my personal friends, man. I want to give a huge birthday shout out to my day one of my OGs, bro. The homie, he's sometimes in the chat. He goes by a
Very
couple different
rarely.
names. I think it's Lime. Yes, it's Lime. He's Lime in chat, but it's my boy Caleb. So I gotta wish my man's a happy birthday, bro. I gotta wish my man's a happy birthday. Happy birthday to my brother. Grew up with that man. Literally have always been in each other's life, bro. He's an absolute brother to me, and thank you guys. Or not thank you guys. Happy birthday, my bad, to my boy Caleb, as well as my dog, my homie Yara. So happy birthday to her as well. So I just want to throw those birthday shout outs out there, man, before we get everything started.
Really, man. Caleb, happy birthday, bro. Love you, dog.
Oh yeah, the homie. Um, so so we're gonna start things off with the AEW news. here today. We're going to start things off with the AEW news, man, as we're going to start you guys off with this latest story about Jon Moxley. And there's been news that has broke over the week of the creative pull that excuse me, that Jon Moxley has within his new character and his new group and his whole storyline and everything revolving around it. So, Jon Moxley is reportedly wielding significant creative control, according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer noted, oh God, what just happened on my page? Okay. Dave Meltzer, according to the Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer noted that while Tony Khan still has final approval, Moxley is largely directing his new Death Rider gimmick. Tony Khan is letting him do what he wants. Meltzer stated, emphasizing that Moxley is taking the lead in trying to revitalize AEW with this new direction. It could be one of the reasons Moxley keeps referring to it as a new AEW. Moxley's influence runs deep in the company. Behind the scenes, it sounds like AEW is relying on his vision to help make things work. Speaking to the New York Post, Moxley talked about the new television deal and how it's important, but not the finish line. He noted, you didn't just win the Super Bowl. There's no time to go to fucking Disney World, you know? This is an opportunity. We have work to do. He elaborated that signing the deal is just the beginning of a bigger challenge. We made a commitment to do something. We create something to be successful at something, not just to do it, Moxley said. This kind of mentality suggests AEW believes in Moxley's attitude about things. While there is talk the company isn't overly worried about beating WWE in the ratings, they are thinking about making their network happy, and Moxley is looked to be the leader as AEW ushers in what they hope is a new chapter for major success.
God damn.
So, the way I'm looking at this, bro, is this is not anything too out of the normal. Obviously, the part that is a huge red flag is, Tony Khan is still overseeing this, and obviously he still has final say, which there's not necessarily anything wrong with him doing that. It's just the fact that it's Tony Khan and he's overseeing something, because, which again, any CEO should do, but it's just the fact that it's Tony Khan is, it's sort of a thing where, how long is this going to last before, Tony gets his grubby hands all over it, or he just lets stupid shit kind of let stupid shit kind of fall by the wayside, which we sort of are seeing with the level of challenger. And to me it's Moxley is the, like, I genuinely want to emphasize and stress how lucky AEW is to have Jon Moxley, because this is a guy wanting to take the reins and blatantly looking at AEW and wanting to wanting to recognize the problem. How many people in this company, through all the bullshit, want to sit there and talk about, oh, this is where the best wrestle, we have the best on the planet, and we're the best wrestling, this and that and this and that. So I like that Jon Moxley is of the mentality that, there's still work to do, and they're not doing this just to be there. They're doing this to be there and to succeed at it. So I like that, but at the same time, you are starting to see the quality of what he's doing on television sort of go down, almost as if Tony Khan, is having a part to play in maybe picking challengers or the logic behind some of these storylines. It's like Moxley and his group are the best part of what they do, and that's where it ends because their challengers suck, and what they've been doing on television the past couple weeks has not been so hot compared to how the group started out necessarily. So, yeah.
Oh, 100%, dude. That's the vibe I get from this is Mox is doing his and his group's part of, the booking job. And then Tony Khan's job is to, make the challengers, make the whole situation and everything but, Mox's group itself and, the vibe of the group and what they do and what they say. Everything else sucks. And you could tell that's the Tony Khan side of it, and then the other part is the mock side of it. It's the most obvious, painful thing in the world, man. Especially after Wednesday, it's literally just Mox wanting to do this cool thing. He has great ideas, and Tony Khan saying, "Hey, you know what? You want to do this? Here, I got you. I got a JD Drake. You could do this too. That's gonna help you." Like, it's
JD
just
Drake.
it's so fucked, man. I saw Mox was on an interview talking about like, his current character and the current state of AEW, and he got he was mainly wanted to do, this type of group and this type of idea because he was backstage and he heard production guys talking about like how they had to work on something related to like the lower card. And they were talking about, oh, this doesn't matter, it's just the low card. And that, really pissed Mox off. And he was like, yeah, everything matters from every point of the show, it all matters. I want people to know that all this shit matters. And then you have people like Tony Khan sending JD Drake out there. It's the most fuck shit ever, dude. But hey, it's good for Mox that he gets his, and that they have a Mox that
Yeah.
wants to do all this change. But how many times have they had a Mox that want to do all this and all that, and then Tony Khan just stifled them?
And you see and you see now that you say that, you know, most some of the opponents picked by John Moxley could or some of the opponents going up against the Death Riders, now that you say that, bro, it could be a case of John Moxley wanting to work with these lower card guys, but it needs to be Tony Khan's job to build these guys up. If you want to put JD Drake, right, a homegrown AEW guy, right? He's been in AEW or whatever. If you want him to go up against John Moxley, what they need to understand is you can't just throw these guys out there and think, well, people are gonna care about JD Drake now because he fucking John Moxley hit him in the back with a chair. You know what I mean? You need to build the same thing with the Dark Order. It's like I you know I could maybe see them wanting to or be in the mindset of, but again, that is a very Tony Khan thing to do. I don't give a shit about this guy. Oh, I want to use this guy. Let's send him out there and act as if he's mattered in AEW the whole entire time, which nobody cares. Which again, if you want the Dark Order to go up against the Death Riders, fine. Give me a solid 6 months of decent building to set them up against the Death Riders. You can't fucking throw these guys out there fresh off a fresh off of a run in catering, fresh off of fucking going to get the fucking donuts and Starbucks for the locker room, and fucking put them up against the Death Riders, the biggest group in the company right now. If you want the Dark Order, if you want JD Drake to go up against the fucking Death Riders, fine. They're good talent. Figure out how to fucking use them right. Figure out where to position them on the card. Which again, if you want Top Flight, the Dark Order, JD Drake or whatever, if you want these guys to come off as legit, okay, then book Top Flight how they were booking them back in 2021, where they seem like a next up tag team. You look at
Mm-hmm.
Top Flight now, do you get the vibe that they're next up?
No, they're just background rampage guys.
No, man. I mean, to me, the only thing that that it looks like they'll be doing next is either getting booked on Rampage or Collision. They don't seem next up to me at all. And you want them to go up against the Death Riders, you gotta fucking make me believe. Again, I'll always bring this. I'll always bring this up, and a lot of people are probably like, stop talking about the Bloodline by now. If we were in the year 2018 and you showed me a fucking picture of the Bloodline, a bunch of Samoans with Sami Zayn, I would look at you and say, why the fuck is Sami Zayn right there? That makes no sense. You have
Or
to make people believe. Perception is reality. If you don't, if
Mhm.
you do not perceive these guys as top legitimate contenders to go up against an evil heel faction, it's not going to work. Same way, if you didn't tell me the story of Sami Zayn joining into the Bloodline, then everybody would have laughed at the shit. And it would have been one of those things that we look back at in retrospective videos like, man, remember when Sammy was with the Bloodline? What the hell was that? Why would WWE do that?
But it's one of the greatest things ever booked in WWE because they made it matter. That's how you can't just send someone out there and expect it to go well. You have to make it matter, and they don't. And that's what Tony Khan doesn't do.
It was like when they tried to, I'd seen the picture the other day. It was like when they tried to create some sort of alignment or friendship with Apollo Crews and Roman Reigns. Why do you
Like, it
think
just
why do you think that didn't go anywhere? Because it wasn't treated as important, and Apollo Crews is damn near a jobber, and you just fucking threw him out there and had him talk to Roman Reigns for some fucking
a
reason.
minute, and nothing ever happened, and no one ever believes Apollo Crews because they didn't keep a consistency. It's key.
Yes, consistency is key, bro. But John Moxley is a great attitude, and I genuinely want to stress how lucky Tony Khan is to have certain guys like that in his company. And again, I respect Mox because a lot of these guys in AEW, they fucking walk around, they do their interviews, they go on Twitter like nothing, like this company can do no wrong. Like,
Hmm.
anybody says the slightest bit about anything, and we're breaking our bodies and this and that, and da da da. Like, bro, I'm not personally insulting you, bro. Like, I'm not sitting there saying you guys aren't working your ass off. You can work your ass off, and the shit could still not come out right, bro. It's just how it
Well,
is.
you can work your ass off. It don't matter at the end of the day because you don't make it matter.
It's like, bro, you can sit there and work your ass off, bro. Nobody's saying you guys aren't working your ass off. We're just saying it doesn't matter. You guys can go out there for 45 minutes at the end of the day, but again, if nobody cares, then nobody cares.
Exactly, man. It's just a sad state.
But they get so defensive, and it's mainly the fucking AEW roster. They get so
Oh,
defensive and they walk around, and like I said, they come at fans, and they get all butthurt because the show is not what it used to be, and that's not our fault.
no, exactly. And that's another problem you have with paying people an insane amount of money that in a way don't deserve that money. And they don't give back, to the company to get that money. Obviously, you got your people like Swerve that most definitely do, but you got a lot of people on that roster. The money to their head, it got to their head. They think they made it, think that's all that they need. And Tony Khan's not making his case better because he's not making people earn their money. He's just giving it to them and then letting them stay home and cut vignettes.
Yeah. So again, I appreciate Mox and I respect Mox because again, a lot of guys in AEW will sit there and they will sit there and tell bold-faced lies to their audience. Some of the audience believes them, some of them don't, obviously, but and they will sit there and act like nothing is wrong with the product. um they legitimately will sit there and tell you nothing's wrong with the product and we're the problem and this and that, which again, it falls back on them. It falls back on Tony. It falls back on the people who actually create the fucking show.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, if a TV show is a banger in season 1 and season 2 it's hot ass, it's not the people who's watching its fault, because we need to adjust our taste to how shit your product is. 9 times out of 10 they got a new director. Maybe the director is ass. Maybe they had to get some new cast. That maybe the director wrote a shit story for the second one. It falls back on
Hmm.
the people giving the product. You can't look at the audience and say, "Well, it's your guys' fault you don't like the second season. If you don't, you don't know anything about this. You don't know anything about what a good story is." You can't fucking blame the people. You can't blame the people that watch the product, bro. Again, if if Twisted Metal season 1, it was good. If Twisted Metal season 2 comes out and it fucking sucks, how does that look if they blame it on their audience? So, motherfucker, I didn't write the fucking story. You did.
Literally, you wrote it and it sucks. That's the whole point. You guys are the ones making it. You guys made it suck. That's how that works.
I'm not gonna adjust my taste to your shit product.
No, that's not how that works.
So yeah, man. Again, I respect Moxley, but at the end of the day, man, his stuff itself is not safe, and you can see he's trying. And
Wait,
the best part about the best part about the Death Riders is the Death Riders, because everything surrounding them is laughable. Death Riders, we always say it on Unscripted, badass faction. Soon as the fucking challengers come out,
or
you laugh. You fucking
mm-hmm.
laugh.
It's insane, bro. It's such an insane difference.
Solo's bloodline is running rampant. Who comes to stop them for Survivor Series? Not the OG bloodline. Let's have fucking Rey Mysterio and the fucking LWO come out to stop them.
Everyone's just gonna believe that.
I will laugh. Come on, bro. So that's the news on Jon Moxley having creative pull, which, again, Tony Khan, Tony Khan, bro. It all revolves around Tony, bro. If Tony doesn't, and again, Tony is overseeing it, and he is still overseeing it, man. But so obviously that's a huge red flag, which, like I said, is nothing to Tony's doing. I mean, it is 100% right for the CEO to want to overlook things, as he is a boss, but it's Tony Khan, and you never know what he's going to okay. You never know what, and like Bell was saying, if the whole little TBS bullshit they did this past Wednesday was Moxley's idea, that's exactly my point. Is if Tony is overseeing it, you look at something like
Or,
that, how the
uh,
fuck do you say, what?
Even
JD
though
Drake.
that does strike me as a Tony Khan thing. Oh, let's have him take over TBS to make TBS happy with the ads and whatnot.
Yeah.
It seems like more of a Tony Khan thing to me.
Which could very well be the case. And that's the other problem. How much shit is Tony Khan gonna want to throw in there of his own? Oh, we should do
Hmm.
this. Oh, we gotta do
Oh,
this.
add this in there. We got this advertiser happy, so we'll do it. We'll advertise it like this. No,
Just like when he wanted to level up the All
oh,
Atlantic title for Shazam.
level it up for one of the worst movies. That movie was literally like one of the worst performed DC movies ever. I think it's slightly above like Black Adam for the worst performed movie
Fuck.
ever. Oh, for that fucking movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something, bro. All right, man. Moving over to some AEW injury news. According to Fightful Select, Sky Blue was sidelined with an ankle injury earlier this year and has a while before she is set to return.
That sucks, man. That sucks. Injuries are always the worst, especially when you're trying to move up somewhere in a place. So hopefully, it's a fast and good recovery.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. She's been on the shelf for a while. And she was doing really good work with Julia Hart. She was doing very good work with Julia Hart. Julia Hart, by the way, has just got an
He's great.
eye for this. I mean,
Mm,
and you guys know how much we talk about AEW needing that production shit. And you
he's
guys know,
great.
yes, you guys know what I mean when I say that production shit. She's got an eye for that, bro. And I've been watching what she has been doing, and phenomenal, phenomenal, bro. I think
Oh,
she had something on Wednesday, bro. So we
hmm
definitely got to talk about that, bro. But the one thing they aired on Collision of
oh,
her
it's all.
playing with the pom poms in the middle of the football field, and then there's just this dark fucking presence in the bleachers. Like, dude, that was nuts, bro. That was she. She's great, man. She's great. AEW better hang on to her, man, because
Mhm.
she is really good, bro. She's really good, and from the first time we seen her, doing the cheerleader, bro, to then being Julia Hart and House of Black Julia Hart, like
It's insane.
that, you better hang on to her, bro. You better treat her right. And speaking of Julia Hart, Sky Blue is also another one that's very good, and she's been just rapidly progressing in the ring. Not that she was ever bad, but she's just getting better. She's getting better,
Hmm
man. And she it's been a lot of fun to watch, bro, because one of the best things in professional wrestling is seeing people that they might start in the company as low card, jobber type people, and just seeing them go move more up and up the ranks is it's great to see, bro. It's great to see. And I wish her the best. I can't wait to see her back, man, because I think she's gonna do some great stuff. And I really hope AEW doesn't just drop Sky Blue and Julia Hart. Um,
I hope
just
not. I hope when she
for
comes back, there's a story and everything involved.
yes, and again, if you do want to break them up, at least tell a decent fucking story behind it. Which, knowing AEW, they'll just come back and just fucking randomly hate each other. Um,
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked.
me neither. Me neither, bro. Another woman in AEW, man, Willow Nightingale. According to Fightful Select, tentative creative plans for Willow were delayed as a result of a concussion she suffered in October. Hmm. This explains it. This explains it because I just a couple days ago was saying to myself, where the fuck is Willow at? Um but obviously now this makes a lot more sense. She's on the shelf, man. She has a concussion, and it sucks that we're finding out about this a month later, because I was legitimately just wondering where the hell she was at. But that sucks to hear, and hopefully she won't be out too long.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully it's a quick and fast, good injury, man. Not good, but you know what I mean. Hopefully everything goes good with her injury recovery, man. That sucks. Horrible timing. And I hope she's used greatly when she comes back, man.
Oh, Bell,
Oh, I'm telling you, Bell,
I
that
was
shit is
I
the saddest shit ever.
I see I seen that. I seen that interview, man, talking about the women are the best thing on AEW, and um, I could tell you, bro, we can have a conversation about the women being the best thing on the show, but then we'd be talking about Tuesday's show because it's sure in the hell is not Wednesday's show.
Oh.
Um, yeah, Tuesday, bro. Literally, off the back of like four women. That women's division is easily the best on the planet, bro. Um, Roxanne, Vacker, Julia, Zaria,
Mm-hmm.
easily right there makes that women's division the most intriguing women's division just off how they're presented. And again, when you're talking about the women being on the best thing, the best thing on the show, Mercedes, man. I'm sorry, bro, but we ain't talking about Tuesday. And again, if we're talking about the women being the best, it sure the fuck is not Wednesday, bro. It could have been,
Oh,
and it could
it
be
it
any
should
given
be.
day, any
Oh,
given
yeah,
day.
it really should be. They have an insanely fucking phenomenal roster, head to toe, and they just use them improperly. You got Britt Baker out there, when Serena Deeb out there, while Britt Baker is yelling, "Nobody cares." You know what? You're right, Britt. No one fucking cares. Why the fuck would I?
Nobody cares. That's just that's that.
Nobody cares. Like, bro.
Yeah, that's thank you for stating the obvious, Britt. The obvious that shouldn't be obvious because it shouldn't be like that. Thank you
You're
though.
supposed to sell the feud, not fucking just tell us the truth.
Yeah. Yep. Ugh. I, God, bro. What do you even say? What nobody cares. No,
No,
I watched that video and no, I watched the video and I watched the clip of her saying that, bro, and I was stunned. I was stunned upon disbelief. You're sitting out there trying to build to a match, telling her nobody cares. All right,
uh, they work insane, dude. They really do. This company is on a different level of just fuckery.
and like Mercedes, Brody.
Oh,
You know damn well you think about WrestleMania 39 every single day. You know
oh yeah,
damn fucking well. You sit
she.
there and she may make herself feel like you may make herself feel like she is right in AEW. She might sit there and she might say, "Well, it's not so bad, right? I got these two belts, two companies, two different company titles. Um two different company titles, man. I got this big payday. I got probably about the biggest fucking goof of a fucking enforcer in the business. Bro, did you see the way Statlander just pushed her in the hallway? Just pushed her out of the way like she's fucking Hornswoggle or something? Like, well, this is
Ugh,
supposed to be Mercedes heavy. This is the enforcer. Do you imagine somebody fucking doing that to Solo Sokoa? Could you fucking imagine Tribal Court, Roman Reigns just yells Solo, and he goes to spike fucking Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn just fucking muffs him, and Solo just goes
go-
flying out of the ring? What the fuck? No,
like,
Sammy,
bro,
he's scared of him. And what the fuck? Like, bro.
it's insane work, dude. It's so insane. Brit, or not Brit, Mercedes. She thinks about WrestleMania, and then she looks at the fucking fat check that fucking Tony Khan wrote for her, and then she shuts up and makes her fucking tweets, man. It's like, dog, what are we doing here, man? What are you paying for, Tony? What are you paying? Because you're not helping your own case, Tony.
Oh, yeah, don't even get me started on Raquel Gonzalez, bro. Oh my god. Yeah,
Just
and
fucking.
if we did a worst enforcer award for the Grammys or the Grammys, the fucking year-end awards, the fuck am I talking about? If we did a worst enforcer award, there would only be two nominees, and it would be those two, bro.
Raquel and fucking Camille.
I know Sir K's been seeing it on Twitter, man. I know a lot of people are telling him that Trick Williams is going to be dead on arrival when he comes over the main roster. Somebody who was legitimately dead on arrival, bro. Raquel Rodriguez. I've never seen
No,
somebody so dead on arrival.
literally in her fucking return moment. No noise, no pop, no anything.
And a botch.
Pure and a botch. Dude, like just fucking horrible down to the core, man. And Camille, they're doing the same thing. She's fucking there being the enforcer. You just got fucking Mercedes just insulting her the whole time. And then her insulting is rewarded because Camille doesn't successfully do anything. Like, it's so fucked.
Bro, bro, when Stat pushed her, like, I, I, I look, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, did she just fucking push her away like she was like like she just fucking threw some 9-year-old fucking 80-pound child across the fucking hallway? Like what? Uh,
Hmm.
uh, Tony, how is this an enforcer? How and then bro, the way she fucking bitched them through that wall as they're both standing there, she's holding Mercedes like a fucking goof. Like a goof, like a child that's fucking acting up in the grocery store. She's picked up Mercedes and they just get speared through a wall together. Statlander is making them look abysmal in this build.
Fucking
I
them.
mean, killing the
They look,
act.
they look horrid.
Mm. Oh, oh God. What the fuck, man? Um, yeah, I don't know, bro. I, what do you even say? What do you? I just. How are you a booker and just let an enforcer, a heavy, for one of your top and biggest paid stars look so ridiculous?
Look like a pure, just horrible. They he treats them horribly.
Hmm. Speaking of something treated horribly, Forbidden Door.
Ugh.
According to Fightful Select, the 2025 AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view is planned to take place at the O2 Arena in London, England, which we had brought to you guys last week, man, that AEW was looking to do it instead of an arena rather than a stadium in London. So it looks like they're going to be going to the O2 on Sunday, August 24th, 2025, man. So he's doing it around All In time, and it looks like we could be getting, or it looks like we'll probably get the 2 week gap, so Tony Khan doesn't get to run on his bank holiday on Labor Day. Thank God. But it's going to be at the end of August now. It's going to be at the end of August as opposed to the end of June. Which, being that they are moving All In, one of their biggest pay-per-views, not so close to All Out, another one of their big pay-per-views, I'm fine with this because this is still up in the air. I mean, again, August of 2025 is 11-10 months away or whatever, so we're gonna reassess when we get to that time, man. But the Notorious Eels Forbidden Door review is very up in the air as of now, just off the factor of the show is horrible.
Oh, dude, it's a horrible pay-per-view. I mean, it's pointless. Especially you got fucking Wrestle Dynasty or whatever the fucking
Hmm.
thing is named. It makes Forbidden Door complete. Let's do the same thing twice within like a 5 month span. What? How does that make any sense? I don't know why. I don't understand why they still do Forbidden Door. And they had to downsize it because who wants to go see that dude? I bet they won't even fill half of that fucking arena, let alone they would have filled anything in Wembley, man. So glad they're moving it. And I don't know why they didn't cancel it outright this year. I don't know why it's in their lineup.
Forbidden Door, man. Again, it has forbidden in the name. Just off that alone, it should be a buy year thing. It should be every
Mm-hmm.
other year, or if I had the pen, I'm giving you this pay-per-view every 5 years.
3 to 5,
Yep.
depending.
And the way it's
Like,
going, I would definitely do 5 because oh
oh
my
fuck,
god.
it needs a massive break.
Yeah. Forbidden Door, but we still see ECE on, Dynamite. We were still seeing all these guys. So again, this is why we refer to this show as the bedroom door, the front door, the sliding fucking patio door, the bifold door.
Mhm.
It is every door you open frequently on a day-to-day basis. It is everything but a forbidden door at this point, bro. So it's sad that it's come to this point because it was a really cool concept, and uh, they had 2 years of really good and really intriguing stuff, man. But this year, on the third year, that show was a fucking snooze, bro. That show was a
Mhm.
snooze, man. It was awful. It was awful, man. But yeah. So again, I don't want to say anything for sure, man. We'll definitely have to reassess. Come August of next year, bro. But yeah, I mean it's horrible. It's a fucking horrible show, man. It really is. It's
Mhm.
not intriguing in
Yeah.
the slightest.
No, not at all.
So one thing I thought was very interesting, and this isn't necessarily news, but Jim Ross recently talked about an encounter that he had with Malachi Black, and I find what I want to hear what you guys think, but I find what he says very interesting.
Uh,
Almost as if he, well, I'll tell you how I took this as, but I'll read this out. So Jim Ross stated on his Grilling JR podcast, he says that he could tell Malachi Black was a little disenchanted in AEW recently after talking to him. He says he could have been more deeply woven into the storylines over time. He's one of my favorite characters. He's a smart guy, hell of a worker. He could work babyface or heel. Wherever he's gonna go, he's gonna make money. He's and he's gonna be an asset to any company that he works for. I talked to him a couple of pay-per-views ago, and he didn't tell me this, but you could tell he was a little disenchanted. And if a better offer comes along that he's comfortable with, dot dot dot, because he's comfortable in AEW. I mean, God Almighty, think about this. They work a day a week. They wrestle a day a week, maybe two if they get booked on Saturday and Wednesday, but that doesn't happen that much. But if it did, you'd be working 2 days a week. So I don't know. I think his future is always going to be bright. He's creative. He's a creative guy. His tattoos are interesting as hell. He's a very creative guy. He likes to express himself. He reminded me of when I first met Jake the Snake with that kind of mystical voodoo shit. Why? Okay, so I want to know what you think, bro, but why does this sound to me as if Malachi Black has, I don't even want to say 1 foot out the door. He's got like a foot and a half out the door. And the only reason the other half is still in the fucking door is because he's contractually obligated. But, you know,
100%. That's what this completely gives me the vibe of. Basically, that whole thing that JR just said, basically to me is, yeah, he's mentally checked out of this place, man, and they could have, used him a lot more, cared about him a lot more, and I think he would have, been more, down with this place, but this place didn't do that, so he's looking, he's ready to go elsewhere. That would have given me the vibe of Malachi Black. If AEW treated him right, he would have been AEW. He would have been here. He would have been doing work, happy to do work, all that.
mhm.
But they don't use him. So why would he want to help them? Why would he want to be creative and have all these ideas and request them and try to do them when you know they're not going to work out? Why would you ever try that?
100%. And what really got me was the part where he says, wherever he's gonna go, he's gonna make money. To me, you never, you never hear about, if somebody's in your company, you would almost, I feel like you would, and maybe I'm taking JR out of context, but I feel that maybe, if somebody was in your company, you wouldn't, fully mentally in your company, you wouldn't say things like wherever he's gonna go, he's gonna make money as if he's wrapping it up because or at least mentally he is already wrapped up because Malachi was for AEW. I feel JR maybe would have said something along the lines of like, you know, we're great to have him, you know, we're happy to have him here for, you know, for a
Mhm.
long time or whatever. He's sitting here talking about he could have been deeply woven into storylines over time. And you know, JR was one of the main guys that advocated for Malachi Black to get to AEW because they wanted him. I don't know if you guys remember when Malachi Black first signed, AEW's big thing is, you know, and I remember Tony Khan stating this in interviews, and I believe JR stated this as well, is he's not here to just be a guy. He's here to be one of the top players in AEW. And that was the narrative they ran with. But then Tony Khan got Adam Cole and Bryan and Punk
Mhm.
and then slowly Malachi Black kind of, you know, he fell a lot of rungs down the ladder. Um at least for Tony Khan, but you know, I mean, him being a little disenchanted in AEW, man. The only time Malachi Black gets work in AEW, and nobody could tell me any differently, I'm sorry, is when his friends say his name because they know the work he possesses, bro. Look at who
Oh yeah.
Malachi Black has worked with of note as of late. Adam Copeland, his friend. Adam Cole, his friend.
Mm-hmm. This was Adam Cole just being like, "Hey, I want to work with these guys for this thing we're doing." That's all. That's why they were on TV recently, because Adam Cole was 100% the one to be like, "Hey, I want to work with these guys for this."
And the House of Black very well could be wrapping it up in AEW, man. They're again, they're putting people over. You know, I know they're in that the tag match or the 4-way tag or whatever at Full Gear, but like they very well could be. And again, you hear JR saying stuff like this. Why isn't he saying stuff like, you know, AEW's lucky to have him. You know, we're very lucky to have him for a long time or whatever, or at least, you know, we're you know, happy to have him, man, but his future is always going to be bright. That sounds to me like you know he's wrapping it up or he's like damn near out the door, bro. That's what I took it
Hmm.
as, but you know, this is just going off what JR is saying and just the manner he's talking about Malachi Black in, I thought was very interesting.
Very, very past tense. Very,
Hmm.
you failed him, and he's gone.
Yeah, 100%. And they absolutely, God, they absolutely failed him. That is one of the worst failings that AEW has ever done, was what they did with Malachi Black, because under no circumstances was he ever to be treated like that bad, because that was
Self.
certainly something, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was, I mean, again, if you have to have your buddies, you know, saying your name and recommending you just to be put on, just to not even, you know, just just to be, you know, featured in the slightest, man, if that's not a huge red flag and a sign that you need to get the fuck out of there, even though I think he's known for a while he needs to get the fuck out of there, then I don't know what is, bro.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, it's just screams, just please leave, please go.
Hmm. Definitely, definitely, man. So yeah, that is yeah, that was what JR had to say about Malachi Black, and yeah, definitely like you said, bro, it just it feels very just past tense.
Oh, it does. Completely past tense.
And for the final bit of AEW news, for the final bit of AEW news, Speedball Mike Bailey. Speedball Mike Bailey. According to PW Insider, Speedball's existing TNA deal expired on November 1st. Bailey filed for the trademark on his ring name on November the 8th. So just a couple days ago, man. And also, according to Fightful Select, Speedball Mike Bailey appears to be headed to AEW. Uh, well, first, I can definitely say Speedball is very good. Speedball
Hmm.
is very good. I'm not too familiar with how he is as a character or anything like that. How he is with his charisma or whatever. I don't know if it's that good or not. I've really only seen a lot of his in ring work. Like I said, I haven't really seen much of. I haven't really seen any charisma or anything like that from him. So I'm not too familiar with him. The extent of the Mike Bailey that I've watched, I've seen his in ring stuff. His in ring stuff, he's very good. He's very good. I can say that. But if he is heading to AEW, um, hopefully he's going there with already. Hopefully he already has charisma walking in the door, which that'll be something that I will find out for myself. And we'll all have to find out for ourselves if we don't know the answer to that question. But I certainly hope he does, because if he doesn't, he's going to and again, if he's one of these guys that just relies off being a workhorse and his workhorse capability, then we're going to be in for a rough couple of years with Speedball Mike Bailey. So I wish him the best, and I really do wish him the best, and I'm excited to see what he does, and hopefully AEW does right by the guy. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I hope they do well. I hope he does well. Um, he's a singles guy coming into AEW. Personally, I don't know if I would do that, but hey, it's what he's gonna do, man. So hopefully it works out, man. And like you said, hopefully he already has all the things he needs to going into the company, because the company ain't gonna teach you how to get those things, man. So hopefully he's got it all set in stone, man. And hopefully he does well.
Yes, for sure. And the other thing too is, again, I don't really know how his charisma is, but if he does not have much charisma, if that is the case, um the that, on top of the fact that NXT's men's division is wide open, which is
Hmm.
another reason why I do not understand why some of these guys did not go to NXT. Because if you look at the NXT men's division right now, the only people of note to me in that NXT men's singles division is obviously Trick, but Trick is due up in less than a year. The only real leg for a young guy they have to actually stand on is Obafemi, and the only
Hmm.
decent name in at the top of the card down there that you may have to sort of fall back on is Ethan Page. Um, which again, that's three names, and one of those names is due up very soon. Obafemi, I honestly could see him coming up after 42, because he's winning that title WrestleMania weekend. That's just, if not before that, right? So Obafemi's gonna take that title from Trick WrestleMania weekend, and I think Trick will then get called up. But yeah, I mean it's wide open, and I think if some of these guys would have went there, like a Garcia or even a Speedball, Mike Bailey, or like some of these guys, man, I really think they missed the boat. I really think they missed the boat, man, with not going to NXT right now, because their men's division needs it.
Well, 100%. I think that's the case, man. I personally probably would have went to NXT, but he's, he's the shit. He's the captain of his own ship, man. So let's hope he's steering it in the right direction, man. Because NXT could have definitely used him and used him very well. I just hope Tony Khan is going to use him very well.
Yes, I hope he doesn't make a another collision cowboy out of Speedball Mike Bailey and have him trotting around fighting Hologram and Nick Wayne on Collision. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I hope not, man. I hope not. But that remains to be seen, man, as that is going to do it for AEW. And now that we're done talking about AEW, man, and now that we're done talking about AEW, we're obviously going to move over to the WWE stories. But before we do that, speaking of AEW, man, if you're watching those episodes of Dynamite, if you have the gall to find yourself watching an episode of Collision, if you find yourself watching these shows, man, and you need just that boost of energy, man, look no further than W Energy, the official sponsor of the Notorious podcast, man. W Energy, an energy drink company focused on loading their drinks with vitamins and nootropics formulated for anybody wanting to improve focus without the jitters, man. Clean formula. It's got sugar-free, 0 calories, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving, man, which could be the perfect boost you need to get yourself through watching some of your favorites be booked like absolute horse shit. You can get your W Energy products today with the link below in our bio and code NHP at checkout, man. That is W Energy. So again, we always want to thank W Energy for being an official sponsor of NHP, man. And yeah, man, link is down in the description, man. Get your products today. And help yourself stay awake during AEW Dynamite, man. So,
That's what I had to use this week. After that fucking episode of AEW Dynamite, I needed some of this, man, and it really helped. It fucking got me awake during that shit, so... And trust me, W did all the heavy lifting because Dynamite didn't do itself any favors.
definitely, bro. Definitely, man. So, yeah, man, go pick yourself up some W Energy, man. And, yeah, yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. You guys are definitely gonna need some W energy during some of those episodes of Dynamite, bro. It's gonna keep you guys awake. It's gonna keep you guys focused. It's gonna keep you guys focused on calling out this bullshit we're seeing on AEW Dynamite, bro. So yeah, man. Yes, link is down below in the description, man. So check them out. But moving over to some WWE news. Well, we did get a new piece of news that came out while we were as we were live. According to Fightful Select, former TNA president Scott D'Amore was at the WWE Performance Center on November 8th. D'Amore was said to be just visiting as and was given a tour of the facilities. Informal conversations also took place along the way.
Interesting, man. Very interesting. Maybe they'll be working somewhat with Maple Leaf. That'll be really cool. But what this really hopes me up for is Morrow. Getting Morrow involved back in WWE in some form, some starting way, man. That's my dream.
I think Scott D'Amore working with WWE, I think WWE working with Maple Leaf Pro. Not only do I think it would be hilarious because I was just watching AEW fans shit all over how AEW did more for MLP than WWE's done for TNA in their whole partnership. I think that's going to be kind of funny if they do end up working with Maple Leaf Pro. But Scott D'Amore would be an idiot not to work with WWE. And if we know anything about Scott D'Amore, he's not an idiot. He's a very smart guy, and he's very passionate about the wrestling business. He's very one of the most passionate guys about promoters in the business, man. Scott D'Amore is, again, very passionate guy. He's very smart, and again, I mean, he would that would not be a smart move to shy away from a relationship with WWE if that's what they wanted, because Generally working with anybody is good. I mean, look at what they worked. Just worked with AEW and it was good. Obviously it was only the smart decision of Scott D'Amore to work with WWE, as WWE as talent that they can have work with them, as WWE has talent that can work with them, as MLP has guys that could potentially work with WWE, specifically even commentators, like Sir K was saying with Mauro Ranallo. Mauro working back with WWE, I think, will be a dream come true for all of us, man. I mean, he's my favorite commentator of all time. I know he's your favorite commentator of all time, but Mauro is fantastic, man. And if WWE can inch closer to working with Mauro again, I think that's just I think that's best for everybody, man. Because Scott D'Amore, we just talked about Scott D'Amore being a smart guy, okay? He was the fucking promoter to go out and get Mauro Ranallo, and Tony Khan's probably had this guy on the market for 4 years now, 5 years, 4. Yeah, about 3 or 4 years now. Mauro's been on the market and nobody's picked him up, and it took Scott D'Amore to pick the guy up. So clearly he's a smart guy, and obviously it was the only right decision is to kind of dip your foot in the water of working with WWE, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I like the path that this can take, man. Great people that care a lot about the business. So I hope something comes out of this.
For sure. For sure. Uh is he? Yeah, I heard, isn't he like Jake Paul's?
Like main commentator, I think that like always commentates for him. I think so.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so. So, Saturday night's main event. Per WrestleVotes, WWE sources have indicated NBC's second episode of Saturday night's main event is set for January 25th, which it looks like there will be about 5 episodes on NBC prime time. There will be about 5 episodes of Saturday night's main event per year. So it looks like it'll be something similar to what we see from like Battle of the Belts. So it's just going to be
Mhm.
something just something on prime time that they put on. It's going to be very similar to Battle of the Belts, where you watch the first one and then slowly but surely they get a little more less intriguing. I could be wrong, man. Maybe WWE is going to stack them every time, but yeah, I just don't see this being a thing that people care about for too long, man, outside of the first one maybe.
100%. I don't think people really care about it too much. It'll just evolve into, oh, this is happening right now. Okay. And that's going to be about it. It's cool. I like the vibe of it. I like the concept, but it's just it's not something that's going to be of importance overall.
Hmm. Yeah, they'll throw. It's basically going to be, what you see on television. It's basically going to be a taped live event. So it's just going to be, the guys that normally work each other on the house shows are going to have matches on Saturday night's main event, but this time it's just going to be filmed because
Why
just
not?
yeah, just for prime time. And I'm sure it's gonna be a cool atmosphere, man. I'm sure it's gonna be very a little more low key. It's gonna be a little more low key, and for the people that are going to continuously watch Saturday night's main event, then good for you, man. But yeah, I think this is gonna personally, I think it's gonna be very similar to Battle of the Belts in that regard, where the first one comes on and you watch it because you're like, oh shit, more AEW content, okay, or getting Battle of the Belts, this is cool. And I think it's going to be the same way for Saturday night's main event. And I think as they go on, it's going to be something that people care about less and less. Not that it's, a bad show or anything, but it's just going to be something of, not really the crazy importance. And I could be wrong, but that's just my prediction.
100%, man. 100%. It won't be of too much importance, but I like the vibe, and I like what they're trying to do with it. So it exists, and that's fine.
Yeah. Wade Barrett. According to WrestleVotes, Wade Barrett is not interested in returning to the ring full time, but he is open to returning for a short term program with Drew McIntyre. This is
Mhm.
interesting, man. I could see, WWE being hot again, man. I could see why Wade thinks this could be the perfect time to get back in there for a short stint and either call it or kind of do what Booker T used to do. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the early 2010s, you'd see Booker T pop up at a Royal Rumble. He'd get in there, do his stuff, and then you might not see him until, like a Raw 1000. He'll pop up and have a random match, or he'll have a random match. Whenever he feels up to it. I could see Wade Barrett doing something like that as, somebody who's a commentator, but, occasionally, when a story calls for it, man, one of the talent, tries to pick at him and he actually fights back, which I think for Wade's case, could be very cool. It could be a cool role for him as, a commentator that's just not afraid to fight, and not afraid to get in the ring when he needs to, man. So it could be a cool role for him, but I'm excited for Wade.
100%. I think it's a good way to go about things, and I like that. I like that idea overall. Just occasionally wrestling when you want to, man. I don't think I do think that's a good idea, and that could really fit Wade in his current age and whatnot, man. So I think it's a good idea. I definitely everyone wants that program with Drew, but after that, the occasional program where maybe someone who fucks with them on commentary too much happens or stuff like that, man. So it's a good concept, and I like the idea of it a lot.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, speaking of the weekly shows, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown will be pre-taping multiple episodes coming up. The November 29th episode of SmackDown will be pre-taped on November the 22nd. It will be pre-taped on the November 22nd episode of SmackDown in Salt Lake City, Utah. The December 20th episode of SmackDown will be pre-taped on December 13th in Hartford, Connecticut, and the December 23rd episode of Raw will be pre-taped on the December 16th episode of Raw in Boston, Massachusetts. This is a Triple H regime thing. He wants to give these guys time off with their families for Christmas and Thanksgiving and the whole holiday season and whatnot, man. So this is obviously remarkable. This is something that you could never hate on. Obviously, the show is going to be taped, and it's there's going to be spoilers, and the show's going to be the show's not going to be as good, obviously, man. But at the end of the day, we can't just expect every episode to be live, man. These people are human beings just like we are. They have families. It probably killed some of these guys to FaceTime their kids from a hotel room on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, just to put on a shit Vince McMahon Raw anyway, and go to fucking work, so nobody wants to do that. And every day, nobody wants to go to work on these holidays. I don't want to fucking go to work on these holidays, and nobody does. So at the end of the day, you can't expect these performers to, man. They are already on the road enough. People are such hypocrites. They wanted to see so much change in WWE for years, and you get a story like this, and people are complaining that the Raws are going to be worse. It's like, well, obviously, yeah, but these people need to be home, bro. They're fucking humans. They have children, wives, mothers, sisters, fathers, whatever, bro. They want to be home, and that's literally the least that the company can do for them.
Oh, 100%, man. Everyone got their thing on tape shows, and that's okay, man. But like you said, it's these people trying to see their families, dude. It's the holiday. It's the most like family-oriented time of the year
Yep.
for everybody. So it's what's good. It's what's deserved, man. I think that's a good thing. And they're gonna spend both of these holidays with their families, man, and that's a good thing at the end of the day. Good for the new guys, and especially I'm probably so sure it's phenomenal for those older guys who spent the years under that, like you said, that Vince McMahon. You fucking fly out to a Raw to have like a 5 minute match, or you fly out to Raw to not even have a match, but you
Yep.
still gotta fly out there and shit. So, good thing for these guys, man. And it makes all the sense in the world.
100%. 100%. So, yeah. And
That's all.
then
It's really good. Hey,
100%.
because you're waiting for a Royal Rumble, that's when everything kicks off. There's really no point to do some, crazy stuff before the Rumble. So it ends up being the perfect time of the year to do it anyway.
And in a lot of ways too, I mean, you're watching Raw nowadays and you just get the vibe like WWE's really, they're holding back their cards for Netflix. They don't want to do nothing too crazy because they want to get to Netflix. They want to get to the Netflix era. Then we're going to start seeing what I
Hmm.
think is to be banger Raws again. Because these Raws have been good. Don't get me wrong. We've had good Raws, but we've also had a lot of Raws recently that are kind of just all right. Like
Yeah.
that was a decent episode. It wasn't fucking, it didn't fucking knock your fucking socks off, but it also wasn't, you know but it also it wasn't a bad show. So we've been getting a lot of just like, good Raws or whatever, but you already get the sense that WWE is kind of, waiting until the Netflix era of Monday Night Raw to kind of, really put all their cards out on the table again. But um yeah, December is, I mean, it's a slow time of year anyway, bro. It's a slow time of year. Um yeah, so I mean, there is no reason to complain, man. And like I said, a lot of these people are very hypocritical, man, because like I said, you asked endlessly for change in WWE. We get change in WWE. Now you complain that the shows are going to suck, which again, Logan brings up a great point, as these shows 9 times out of 10 end of no after Survivor Series, these shows don't pick up again until Royal Rumble, when we start actually building up for the Royal Rumble, and we have the whole month of January to build up for Royal Rumble. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. So yeah.
Definitely, man. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing overall.
So speaking of the Netflix era of Raw, according to PW Insider, both sources within WWE and Netflix have stated Becky Lynch is expected to be back in the mix with the company by the time Raw premieres on Netflix. That would mean that Lynch and WWE are close, or have confirmed a new agreement between both sides.
But she was gonna go to AEW. Thought she was gonna be all elite, man.
She's
What
already
happened?
there, man. She just beat Penelope Ford on
Oh
Dynamite a
man.
couple weeks ago. She has been
You
working
think?
AEW.
Oh man, that's a poor soul. Then you go to AEW, you get Penelope Ford, man. What a feud, man. But great. If you thought Becky wasn't staying with this company, man, then uh, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what Twitter you're on. I don't know what substance you might be on, but man, she was always gonna stay, man. And I'm very excited to see her come back, to return, and get her back in this division.
Yes, 100%. Still gonna take me getting used to you glazing Becky Lynch nowadays,
The
but
big time back there was really bad.
oh,
They killed
I had
everything
to
for years,
I
man.
had to eat shit for so many years, bro. I really did, because I had to fucking sit here and
Like,
defend her, and she was doing that. And in my heart of hearts, I'm like, bro, this shit is ass. Like, why are you doing this, Becky? But times are better. And God, do I miss Becky Lynch. But to be honest, bro, I know they're probably going to bring her back for the Netflix Raw. Personally, bro, I would save her for the Royal Rumble, personally. But
definitely.
if they did want to bring her back for Netflix, I also understand that as well. You know, they want to
And
pop out and show them. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
So you,
people like,
exactly.
but
Okay. Yeah, bro. But like I was saying, man, you know, I understand why they would want to bring her back for Netflix, man. I do get it. You know, like I said, man, sometimes you gotta pop out and show them, bro. So you know how it is. But
yeah. Some people just love doing that, man, and they sure as hell show 'em, man. But also, it could help, with Raw and SmackDown going to be taped. At the start of Netflix, you're going to need some stuff to really just put those coals on the fire and fuel it. And I think Becky could definitely be one of those things that just gets people's interest instantly, man. So I think that's another reason why they want to do her, right when Netflix comes.
yeah. Yeah, man, it genuinely, you know, it genuinely, you know, it's looking good, bro, looking good, man, and that women's division sorely needs it, bro, and you know WWE is saving, you know, most of this stuff for the Netflix era as well. I mean, genuinely, bro, they got a lot of good stuff planned for next year, man. Like, man, we could be seeing that man Morrow pop back up, for a one time appearance in WWE, man.
Ugh, please make it a permanent appearance, please.
Seriously,
I'll give you all the money in the world.
yes. Oh,
I'll buy that fucking chilly LA Night shirt.
I lack people skills.
Might need
Scott
that tonight, man.
Scott Demore, bro. You know, it's something about the Demores. You know,
There, that
so
is very true, man.
they
Sometimes
be
they
getting
can
to
be
work,
great. They do be getting to work, man. For some people, it's wrestling. It's going to work, making stuff.
right?
And the other times, it's just other stuff, man. So it's good to see at least one of them's doing great.
Definitely, definitely, man. But yes, I'm excited to see Becky back in the fold, man, and I miss her. I miss her, man. I miss
Mhm.
Becky. You know, I know that, and I might actually, bro, like to see, because you know Rhea's eventually getting that belt back. I honestly would eventually really fuck with Becky coming back as the man and turn heel,
Oh, I
bro,
would love it.
because you could. Rhea's a baby face now. Rhea's gonna get
Oh,
that belt
100%.
back. I would like to see maybe Becky and Rhea redo what they did, but with Becky as heel, and then eventually down the line, Becky can put over somebody like Lyra, because Lyra is
Mhm.
somebody I just need to see do better work, bro, because I know she can do it, and they were portraying her as like somebody who was next up, and then it just all went away, you know. So I would like to see Becky do something like that, where, you know, I would like to see a heel version of Becky that is just a badass, a badass bitch, bro. You know, I don't, obviously as a heel, you know, I don't want to see what we seen before, because I know she could do way better work as a heel than whatever the fuck we got the first time around with fucking big time Bex. But it was awful, man. But I would actually, you know, and we did hear, bro, that Rhea Ripley was, you know, in line for a big role at WrestleMania. So it's maybe they do a triple threat, bro. Maybe Rhea pins Becky in the triple threat again, or maybe Becky just gets mad that she lost the match, ends up turning on Rhea, and we just see a heel version of the man. I would like to see that. I would like to see that portrayed. And like I said, man, and then she could end up going to put over somebody like Lyra. She could, Lyra. Who knows who will be on the main roster by then. With the crop of women that are in NXT. But no, I think they could do some interesting stuff, and I'm excited to see her back.
Oh, 100%, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how everything goes. Would love for her to be heel again. Think that could definitely do a lot of good. And I'm excited, man.
For sure. For sure. So, speaking of the women's division, WrestleVotes is reporting that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are expected to break up on WWE TV in the coming months. The company has been planting seeds through matches and segments as they work towards the end of the tag team. Did you hear the story that these two don't like each other in real life?
No way. I didn't hear that. That's
Um,
crazy. Really.
Coachman was doing an interview, and he was talking about how he's heard from multiple people in WWE that these two don't get along in real life.
It's crazy work, but hey, man, don't matter because look at that. They're on TV. They work
Yes.
well together while they're on TV. That's business. That's what you do. Go to work and you do. Sometimes you go to work, you get mad, you throw a phone. That's normal. You don't fight your coworkers. You don't argue with them.
Right.
And, and look what happened here. If this is true and they don't like each other, I applaud them because you couldn't fucking tell on television. I could
Yeah.
never tell. That's great work right there, man. And we all know this is gonna be a Mania match. They're saving it for Mania. Something's probably gonna happen between them in the Rumble. All that shit, man. So it's expected. I expected it fucking like months ago that like they're really saving this shit for Mania, and they're saving the shit for Mania, man. So I'm just glad, and I hope when they finally do it, please, I don't think they will, but please make Bianca the heel out of the two. She's phenomenal in that role. She needs a change up. You know what? Even if she stays face, she needs some type of change up in vibe, in atmosphere, in attitude. Please.
Exactly. Exactly, bro. I hope so, but I very much will see them doing Jade as the heel. That's what I see. That's what I see them doing. As much as I want to sit here and tell you guys that Bianca should be the heel because she should, I really
She
think
won't.
WWE. Yeah, I think WWE
Hmm.
is gonna make Jade the heel, which Jade in a lot of ways is very dislikable. From what we see of her, she can be a very cocky person in general, and you know,
Make that her character. Do it up, do it overboard, so people get tired of her, but make that the character, but where it's like, okay, you're doing too much, but make that the character. Kind of like, not what, because that's not what they did with Dom, but what they did with Dom was he was such an annoying little shit.
yeah,
They made that his whole character,
yes,
and that made it work. So do
and
that, but with Jade.
yeah, and with Jade, with the physique that she has, and again, just with the cocky attitude that she gives off, have that be the centerpiece, bro. Is just her cockiness or her just
Mhm.
narcissistic her narcissistic ways about herself and about just just being in love with herself basically. You know,
Mhm.
that'll be how you capitalize with Jade as a heel, bro. But I think if you really wanted to throw a curveball in there, I would love to see Bianca Belair as a heel. I think I think the whole she's got to stay babyface because the people love her. That's just absolute bullshit to me, bro. That is absolute bullshit. It is nothing. It is nothing but a fucking excuse to not wanting to play a role because you just don't want to at the end of the day.
Literally. That's all that is. You just don't want to play a role, so you just don't do it. So I hope everything just goes smoothly with this, and they set these people accordingly to do the characters they should be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know how true it was. But yeah, I did hear a rumor, man, that these two do not like each other in real life. Um so if that is the case, props to them, because that is what being a professional is all about. Going to work, doing what you got to do, telling your story, and getting better at your craft, bro. That's what it's about. So I really applaud the hell out of these two if that is the case, man. Um earlier when we were talking about the Meltzer, when he fucking looked at the tweet from Wessel votes.
Hmm.
um I seen something that I seen something too that account posted. They had posted something over the past week that 2K was going to be bringing back SmackDown versus Raw. I forgot to mention that. I seen everybody falling for that on Twitter. I thought that was
Hey, bro,
funny.
no offense, but why would they ever bring back that IP? It would make no sense to bring it back in the modern day besides nostalgia, and that's not going to carry you that far.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah. You can name the name whatever you want, bro. If it don't hit like Raw, like actual SVR did, then it's not gonna work. And again, we all know 2K will never give us 2K's given us some good ones. They have. They will
Hmm.
never give us anything to the degree of a SVR ever.
Oh no. I mean, Fight Forever came close, but
Right.
it fucking game.
Yeah.
Oh, the
See,
worst games
yeah.
ever, dude. That shit was horrid.
SVR
But
2011, who? Fight Forever,
that
ranked.
was it. That was the move.
Yes, is the end all be all for wrestling games. AEW
Mm.
Fight Forever. Our one buddy couldn't even fucking figure out. We were playing the game with him for, I want to say, like 4 hours. The whole time he could not fucking figure out how to pick somebody up.
No, I don't think I could do that either. There was something I knew I couldn't do. I don't know if it was like picking up a ladder or something, but I remember there was also something that I could, and then one of my buttons didn't work. No, it was you, where for you couldn't actually select the target. The
Yeah,
button just didn't work for you, and it
yeah,
wasn't your controller. It was the actual like inaction button just didn't do it for you.
yep. What was the one me and you tried to play? Oh, the tag team match.
Oh, tag team matches were garbage in that game. They're absolute dog
Dude.
shit in that game. They
Eh,
like kick you out the ring instant. Like, dude, it's so
yes.
stupid.
And on 2K, in tag team matches, bro, me and Sir K were fucking dogs. We go over to Fight Forever. That was the most nauseating tag team gameplay in a wrestling game I've ever played. You couldn't
Like,
do a tag team move, which
mm,
in 2K, very simple. One guy's on the corner, the other guy pushes the other guy in the corner. You walk up to him, you hit L1, and me and Sir K are doing a double team move to somebody. In Fight
that's all.
Forever, I genuinely don't even know how to do a tag team finisher. It
We never
is,
did one.
yeah, we
It was
couldn't.
impossible. It was literally like, dude, there was the way it worked was there was a timer that worked where if you weren't the guy tagged in, you had a timer where once that timer went out, if you were in the ring, it just automatically, you can't control it, it kicks you out the ring and you just go to the apron. So a lot of times your boy would be getting pinned, you go in to save him, but the timer is already at zero, so you can step over the ropes and your character instantly turns around and goes back into the ropes and your guy fucking loses and your partner loses because you couldn't save him. Horrid. Horrid work. Whoever designed that, hope you get fired. That was dog shit.
It was absolutely atrocious. I couldn't fathom how bad that tag team mode was, man. I mean, that was some legendarily garbage shit, man. I mean, it really was. It was awful. It was
Hmm.
fucking awful, man. But Yeah, it's something that is I would I don't know what it would have to take for me to play that game again, but it would have to take a lot. I don't know what, but it would have to take a lot, man. And because that would God, that was some nauseating gameplay, man. And I really hope Tony didn't spend too much on that, but I already fucking know he did. So yeah,
I remember reading stories AEW was in the red because of the game.
yep,
Dude, those developers scammed the fuck out of them.
yes, yes, they did. Yes, they did, bro. Yeah, ooh, it was bad. Speaking of more women's division stuff, according to Fightful Select, they're reporting that WWE talent that were spoken to said that there was no discussion backstage of a women's intercontinental championship at Raw this past Wednesday or this past Monday.
Hmm. Very interesting to see how they're doing this.
Very interesting. It's very interesting to see if the U.S. championship is going to float. I think best case scenario
Yeah.
that would be best
I
case
think it-
scenario. But then again, I did hear a rumor last week. I don't know how truthful it is. That's why it didn't make the news. But I did hear a rumor they were going to announce a mid card championship for Netflix. And we already just talked about how WWE's waiting to put all their cards on the table for Netflix. We literally just talked about that. So I could very well see them that being another thing that they save for Netflix.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean it's something that I could very well see happening, bro. Being that both shows are going to move 2-3 hours, I could very well see them doing that. The only thing that excites me about a women's intercontinental championship is seeing a intercontinental championship with a white strap. Um,
Be beautiful.
it's been too long since we've seen one with a white strap. But I did see that. I did see that. Like I said, I don't know how valid it is, but I did see, that they are. There were rumors that they will be introducing a new title, come Raw on Netflix, for the women. So I could very well see it being the women's IC title, which you're again. If you want to do this, bro, you're really gonna have to gut the fuck out of. You're really gonna have to gut NXT, man, because you're
Oh,
gonna need, or you're gonna just have to make more people a priority, man.
make Candace a priority. Make
Yes,
Lyra, like, dude, all these people that you're not using, please make them priorities, dude. And another thing I think they're waiting for is I think they want to establish the women's U.S. title before they do the women's IC because I feel like if they do it at the same time, people are, oh, it's just the women's mid card titles they're both doing. But if you do one after the other, I think it will make them look better.
right. Yeah, and two, even though it is, I could see WWE not wanting to give off the idea of this is just Raw's version of the women's US title.
Basically, exactly. So I think they're just gonna wait and do one after the other, and I guess
Mhm.
the other is gonna come at Netflix, man. So
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah, as well as, WWE just wanting to again save even more shit for Netflix just so it feels, like a larger than life type of atmosphere now that they're on Netflix. But I could very well see that being the case, man. But yeah, it's gonna be tricky, man, and I really wish these women's tag titles would go away, man, because having 5 titles in the women's division, I just don't think your women's division needs all that, bro. Again, if you wanted to have one mid card women's title to float, okay, but I don't know, man. It's just it's a bit much. It is a bit much, and I just I don't like the scenery of just every damn near everybody having a championship, man. So that's just me though, man. I don't know if that's an old school way to think about it, bro, but how do you guys feel about it, man? I'm interested to know how you guys feel about it, man. As yeah, it looks like there was no discussion yet for a women's IC title, but it is something I feel that is looming, man. But honestly, bro, um, I honestly just I really see them just saving this for Netflix, man. It seems like they're in the save everything for Netflix mode.
They really are, man. I think they're just keeping everything in that pocket for Netflix, man. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah. And speaking of said championship, the women's US title, per WrestleVotes, sources indicate a women's United States Championship tournament kicks off tonight on SmackDown. Uh
Hmm.
who do you got, bro? Who if Sir K has the pen, who are you making the first women's US champion?
Bucks on SmackDown.
Uh,
What-
well, that's the thing too. That's my question too. Is who exactly you know? Because when they did the World Heavyweight Title tournament, there was SmackDown people on it. So are they going to have people from Raw on it, or
like
because I'm getting the vibe this is SmackDown exclusive.
I think it is. I really think it is. I think they're doing the brand exclusive ones. They're just waiting to do the IC like we just discussed. So I think it's just gonna be SmackDown women. Who the fuck is on SmackDown right now? What women are
Uh,
on SmackDown?
well the women that don't have titles,
Okay,
obviously, other than Nia or Tiffany,
can't
she's
really do
got the
that.
briefcase.
Yeah.
You have Mia Yim, you have
Okay.
Chelsea, you have Bailey, you have a Charlotte that's coming back, you have Candice, you have Piper, you have
Fuck, I might do Piper or Candace.
I
Build them up.
think that's
I mean,
about Naomi. Naomi's on the show.
you can do me if you want to do a name already established.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, and I wonder if they want to do a name already established to help make the title look good,
Right.
or do a younger or more less used name to build them up with the title. Personally, I would do that and probably do Piper or Candace, but like I don't know how they're gonna do this, man. I really don't. It's very, very interesting to see how they're gonna do this. But I would either do Candice or Piper. They need to use Piper. She's phenomenal. She's probably one of the best ones they have that they aren't using,
Oh
and I
yeah.
would really like them to use her genuinely. But you already have Nia as your women's champ, so I don't know if you want two powerhouse women's champs at the same time. So Candice right now might be the better move.
100%. I absolutely agree with that, man. I as I seen this piece of news from WrestleVotes, I my mind immediately went to Candace, and I think, and it honestly makes me think, and this is just me conspiracy theorizing here. I honestly think that WWE may have saw something in Candace, but they didn't see something in Candace and Indy. And I feel
Yeah,
they wanted to get Indy away from Candace, which that does not
very
justify them firing her necessarily. They could have just broken them
no.
up. But I honestly seen Indy's release, and again, this is just me conspiracy theorizing here. I seen Indy's release as a way for them to get her away from Candace so they can take Candace a little more seriously. And I especially um for years have always questioned, why is Candace just Johnny's wife?
Yeah,
That's in
she's
NXT, that's all she ever was. I don't even think she was NXT Women's Champion.
never
Um
was. I don't think she ever holds a title besides the tag title.
I was gonna say I
Ever.
know. Yeah, I was gonna say I know I know the NXT Women's Tag Titles with Indy. But other than that, we
Ever
I don't
singles.
we've never seen Candace hold a championship, and they've gotten a nice amount of distance away from her and DIY, and I'm glad for that because Candace is so good, and I know they just had her beat Bailey a couple weeks ago on Smack. They had her pin Bailey on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, and I want to see Candace utilized, bro. When you talk about things being overdue in WWE, And you bring up a good name too with Piper. And Candace is sitting in that same boat of like, when are you guys ever gonna use her? But with how high WWE is on Chelsea Green, I can see her being
I
another option that they're looking at.
I could definitely see them looking at Chelsea Girl. She's not bad, so I
No,
wouldn't be mad at it. But personally, I would probably do Candace before Chelsea Green.
for sure, for sure. I think Candace would be. I think Candace would be a great option for this women's mid card title. Honestly, for Chelsea, if you really did want to do something with her, I think she would be a fantastic Money in the Bank holder.
I think she would. I think she's your next one.
For sure. You know, I would have said this year had Tiffany Stratton not be involved. But
Mhm.
then again, my opinion may change because, I also think some people like Roxanne Perez would be a very good Miss Money in the Bank or
That'd be very good.
yeah,
You got
so
people.
yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do. So I'm interested to see how this whole thing goes, but if I got the pen for this one, I'm putting this title on Candace.
Oh, I am. I probably would be too.
Yes, and then treat this title like you treat the the Intercontinental Championship for the women, as it's a stepping stone. It's a title you win before you move up, similar to how all the greats did. All the greats won the IC title, lost it, and then they moved up. And I would do that
Mhm.
for Candice. I would have Candice hold the belt for a little bit. It doesn't have to be no Gunther reign or nothing, but I would have her hold the title for a decent amount of time, a couple months or whatever, and then I would have her move up and start moving towards the upper card of SmackDown, man. So yeah.
100%.
CM Punk. CM Punk.
Yeah, boy.
CM Punk is now being advertised for WWE Survivor Series War Games. Their Survivor Series War Games premium live event in Vancouver, BC on November the 30th. This is interesting. This is very interesting. We're hearing about this
Mhm.
now. What do you make of all this? And again, man, I'm gonna ask if Sir K has the pen, bro. What the fuck are you doing with CM Punk on Survivor Series?
Fuck. What's there do? Who's available? Especially if they're putting like you had Gunther. I don't know why you didn't
Oh, we
do that
got we
one,
got to
Jack.
get Gunther versus Damian Priest so he can um
He's scared of Damian Priest. Like, bro, what?
he wants to
How would
beat yo ass.
he was a killer.
He wants to drop yo ass. Oh yeah, that's right. He wants to defeat the unbeatable killer that is Gunther.
Mhm. I'm drawing blanks for what to do with Punk, man.
So was Damian Priest on that promo. That shit was
He
ass.
draws a lot of blanks, man. He really does.
I could see that. And now, honestly, Bill, you just twisted the light bulb into place in my brain. If the only way I see Punk involved in this show is I could see him coming out and doing a stare down with Gunther after his match with Priest, because obviously Gunther's winning. And I could either see it taking place at Saturday night's main event or the Raw on Netflix. The first Raw on Netflix, I could see CM Punk challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I could very well see that.
I could definitely see that. That's probably what's going to happen at this point.
And honestly, bro, had Bell not said that, I genuinely don't know what I would have told you guys, because I honestly would have not. I would have maybe said maybe a promo where he just maybe reminisces on him being back in WWE here and sets his sights for the Rumble, something along those lines. I would have guessed, but now that Bell
Mhm.
says that, I can see Gunther beating Priest. And while Gunther's celebrating, Punk comes out and does a stare down and basically challenges him for, the basically challenges him for uh main event, Saturday night's main event, or first Raw on Netflix. Which, if I was WWE, I'm doing this on the first Raw on Netflix. You know what? I would have Gunther attack Damian Priest after the match, just so you can set up Priest and Gunther to get us through Saturday night main event. I could see Punk like, you know what, Priest? I would rather face you on the Raw after Netflix, or the first Raw on Netflix, because I respect you, and because Gunther, decided to attack you after the match, you can get him at Saturday night's main event, and I hope I'm facing you on Netflix because I respect you, type thing. And obviously he
Mhm.
loses at Saturday night's main event, and it's Gunther and Punk on Netflix. That's how I would book it. So shout out to
I
Bell,
got
because I
you.
genuinely don't know what I would have fantasy booked there.
No, I really don't. Shout out to her, man, because that's like the best way you could go about it at this point.
Yeah, because when I seen this, I was like, uh, I don't know what to do there. I don't know what I was like. I don't really know what they could do with Punk at this point. If you are advertising him for the show, but that's definitely the best plan of action for sure.
Hmm.
And with the final piece of news here today on this episode of the news, Paul Heyman. You guys see it in the thumbnail, man. The wise man.
Hmm.
Paul Heyman's return to WWE remains shrouded in mystery, but pro wrestling veteran Bill Apter revealed this week on Backstage Pass with WrestleVotes, Paul Heyman was at a recent show doing his backstage roles, and he's apparently not that far away from coming back regularly. When asked about his on-screen return, he's been telling people he will be back soon. While the exact timing is still unclear, it's speculated that WWE might hold off on his return until after the Bloodline versus Bloodline War Games match at Survivor Series later this month. Part of the reason WWE might hold off on this return is because Survivor Series has a mix of storylines all rolled into one, with Rollins and Bronson Reed being added to the War Games match. It doesn't make a lot of sense to bring Heyman in. WWE might be choosing to wait until the storyline is exclusively about the family. Reigns
Hmm.
has been working to reunite the original bloodline, securing commitments from Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Sami Zayn to face the new faction in War Games. Heyman's return could play a pivotal role in the build-up towards Saturday night's main event or the Royal Rumble. Well, if you wouldn't have added two guys that don't fucking need to be in the War Games match, then you could have kept this strictly about family. But you
Yeah.
decided to go out there and add two guys that make no fucking sense to team with the Bloodline. I mean, does Rollins have history with Roman? Sure, but he does not have history to team with Roman when these guys were fucking fighting in a tag team match, and Rollins has a reason to actively be against Roman Reigns, being that he lost his world heavyweight title
Because of
because of
Roman.
Roman.
He sacrificed his title reign to so Roman would get his ended. He literally at this year's WrestleMania, him and The Rock beat the fuck out of Seth Rollins to the point where he basically lost his title because of it. Why is he on their team, dude? Makes no sense. And it's dumb as shit, dude. So you had your opportunity building to Survivor Series to do it, but you went out of your way to make sure that didn't happen for no reason.
So yeah, I don't really know how. I don't really, again, adding Bronson Reed and adding adding Seth Rollins to this War Games match really just kind of, like, to quote Sir K from Monday, it kind of killed the vibe on it a little bit. I wanted to see them all in there doing their shit as the Bloodline and as the other Bloodline that we fucking seen run roughshod over SmackDown the entire calendar year. Why do I care to see the Bloodline team with Bronson Reed? It's stupid, man. I don't like it. I wanted this to be story focused, and I wanted this to be bloodline family focused, bro. I did not care to see this, man, and it just I don't get it, bro. But with Paul Heyman being back, that's the other problem, because our title from Monday's Unscripted is OG Bloodline is back, but was it too soon? Well,
Early.
Heyman, again, we've talked about this. We talked about it on Monday. Heyman should have been the facilitator. He should have
Mhm.
been the one to snap all of these guys out of it. He should have been the one to be like, "Yo, what are you
Or
guys doing? Roman,
mhm,
what are you doing, bro? You're not
check
listening to
people.
Jimmy. Jay told you this shit. You're not listening to him. Sammy, you're being an asshole to him, and these guys are trying to help you. Do you not see what's going? Look at what this bloodline did to me. Now it's time
Mm.
to fix shit." They didn't do that. Heyman was a non-factor in the bloodline, in the OG bloodline getting back together, and that I don't like. And then
Oh,
you go and completely add some out of focus shit to the story with Rollins and Bronson. It's like,
makes it's just so needless and excessive, and you're taking the wrong path here.
it's like trips. God, you you know Triple H doesn't, he doesn't fumble too frequently, but when he fumbles, man, he makes you fucking know he fumbles. Cause
He
damn,
really fumbled something because, dude, he should not only been involved. This should be a 4-on-4. Heyman should be involved, and you're waiting until after this for no reason to bring Heyman back when you could have built this with Heyman for
yes,
no reason.
that classic image that is going to live forever of the one we got Friday of the OG bloodline standing in the ring. Beautiful moment. That
Hmm.
picture should have had Paul Heyman in it.
Oh, 100%.
That picture 1000 fucking percent should have the wise man standing there right next to Roman Reigns throwing the fucking one up with the Usos and Sammy and Roman. That's what it should have been, bro. That's what it should have been. And I want to see him back, and I'm just interested to see where he fits into all this, because what happens? What happens now? How exactly does Paul Heyman get involved? And that's going to be very interesting to see. And I hope that I hope that I hope they make it make sense, man, because the addition of Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, uh, it made things sort of not make sense. And again, Triple H does a great job at making things make sense, but fuck, when he fumbles, he makes you feel it.
He really fucking fumbles that shit, man. And this is a big fumble, in my opinion, with the Paul Heyman and the Survivor Series 5-on-5 aspect. I think it really should have easily 4-on-4. Heyman's involved. He's the main reason they're actually getting back on track due to Roman's ego. And he had all the pieces, and you're playing it all wrong.
The only way I can honestly come up with at this moment that would make sense for Paul Heyman to do is having Heyman, or you gotta have the OG bloodline lose war games.
You gotta, and I feel like that might be with Seth being in it, I feel like he might be the one that, fucks everything up and causes them to lose.
Because I personally wanted to see the OG bloodline win, and then this sparks the Rock's return into next year's Mania season. But
Hmm.
now that
No.
Heyman was a non-factor in getting the OG bloodline to commit to one another again, now you have to, I feel that they might have to lose this match now, because you could bring Heyman back in and say, "Well, look, motherfucker, if you don't change, you're going to continue to lose." And that's why you lost at War
Mhm.
Games, because you won't change for shit. That's
Exactly.
the only way this can make any sort of sense now, because if they win, then I really don't know how you bring Paul Heyman back.
Oh, I have no clue. I really, I don't know what the plan is at that point. or
Be-
why he would even be back.
because again, I thought OG Bloodline wins. Now you have a lot of moving parts here. Now you have the moving part of The Rock, right? You have the Rock. You have the moving part of The Rock be sparking his return. The OG Bloodline winning could really piss off Kevin Owens because he's going to see Sammy on top of the fucking world hanging out with Roman Reigns and all these guys again. You have that. Then you look at the other bloodline. You can start planting seeds for Jacob becoming
Hmm.
the leader of that and them kicking Solo out if that's something they wanted to do, to maybe put Solo back with the original bloodline. So I thought the OG bloodline needed to win that match, but again, now if they do, this gets trickier on how you bring Paul Heyman back in this whole story, man. So it's going to be interesting, man, but Heyman is returning soon, and I can't wait to see him back. I just want to see this make sense. And again, you guys know, obviously, I very much so care about this story. I'm very invested in this story, and I just want the best for it, man. So, and I hope they can deliver that.
I really hope they can. I hope they do well by it. And I hope we're in a couple months looking back and saying, damn, we were wrong. They ended up doing the
Yeah,
right thing. I really hope we say that, dude.
100%. Yes, absolutely, bro. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of NHP, man. It's been episode 240 of the news. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today for today's edition of the news, man. And thank you guys as always, man. As always, man. Everybody who came out, man. Bell, Logan, Arun, Bad Wi-Fi Nerd, and Gotti. Thank you guys so very much for joining us, man. As always, it has been a pleasure for my Johnny.
And Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of NHP. This has been episode 240. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all on Monday with NHP Unscripted.
Peace.